Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I am coming to you from my incredibly messy testing world. Now the reason we are here today is because a brand new Minecraft update has been released on the Bedrock version. Today we are looking at 1.21.30. Now for starters, if we go ahead and open up our creative inventory and search for banner patterns, you will notice that the banner patterns first of all have unique textures. So banner patterns now have a unique texture dependent on what banner pattern it is to make it easily identifiable just from looking at the item. Before, they all had the exact same texture and they looked very similar to paper, but now they all have their own unique texture. And if you go ahead and look at the name, you're going to go ahead and notice that first of all, many of them have different color text. So they have gone ahead and redone the rarity system, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment. They also now have the name of the banner pattern in the title. So now if you hover over it, creeper charge banner pattern, below banner pattern. Previously it just said banner pattern, and then in like the subtext it would tell you which one it was. Another thing they changed was smithing templates. You can no longer just search for smithing templates and get them all because they are no longer called smithing templates in the item name. Now we have to actually go find that section of the creative menu to be able to see all of them together, because now in their name, they're their actual name. So you have the ward armor trim, host armor trim, razor armor trim, tide armor trim, silence armor trim. They have the actual name of the armor trim in the title now. Meanwhile, smithing template is now in the subtext and no longer a part of the title. But if you do still want to find all of them, all you have to do is search trim and they will all pop up. And then again, you will notice there are multiple different colors on the text, and that is because, once again, the rarity system has been completely reworked for like the second time in the month. So we will go ahead and take a look at that next. So for those of you wondering, yes, the rarity system was previously reworked probably about a month ago, and the most notable change that I can recall from the previous change was that tridents became a part of the epic rarity. So they were purple text. Meanwhile, now they are back to blue, the rare text, which is, I believe, what they were before they changed them to purple. So this seems like a counterproductive change there, but you know what? Mojang's gonna do whatever they want to do. Of all these rarity changes, they have come up with some new guidelines for evaluating the rarity of items. So they are now going to be determined their rarity based off the chance of finding it in a loot table, the amount of traveling it requires to obtain, the difficulty of the obstacle which must be overcome, and the amount of those items available in the world. So like, is there a limited amount? And if so, how limited? So that would apply to like elytras, dragon heads, enchanted golden apples, stuff like that. So they have also gone ahead and reworked the way that rarity works in the crafting table. So if we go ahead and hop into survival mode real quick, they have reworked the way that crafting rarities work. So now whenever you're crafting, the rarity of the item you are making will be the same rarity as the highest rarity of any item in the crafting grid. Now, if that sounds a little confusing to you guys, the best way to explain this is all of these items in the recipe for a golden apple are common, and therefore golden apples are now common. Meanwhile, previously, I believe they were rare. Now, for something like the heavy core is a epic rarity. So the mace has to be a epic rarity because the highest rarity item in the crafting recipe for the mace is also epic. Two of the most notable changes in rarity were one, which I already mentioned, the trident has been brought back down to rare because it just wasn't hard enough to get to be considered epic. And then the enchanted golden apple, probably a very controversial one here. It has been made rare. It has been knocked off of its pedestal, sitting as epic. It's now a rare item, which it feels really weird. I'm so used to seeing these things with the purple text. I really don't know that I like it. I think honestly, I would prefer if Mojang just made them harder to get so it could keep its epic status. It doesn't feel right to me. Some other notable rare items now are the Nether Star, the Vex armor trim, the Ward armor trim, the Eye armor trim, Fire armor trim, and the Wither skeleton skull, which I'm not gonna lie, it's about time the Wither Skeleton Skull has been removed from common rarity. However, what I will say, one thing that I quite dislike about this is how the Wither Skeleton Skull is rare. Meanwhile, things like creeper skulls and zombie heads, even the normal skeleton head, are all uncommon. The Wither Skeleton Skull you can get by just killing Wither Skeletons. All of these you have to use a charged creeper. I feel like these skulls should be a higher rarity than the Wither Skeleton Skull. Maybe not the normal skeleton skull, because you do find those in ancient cities. I feel like the normal skeleton skull and the Wither Skeleton Skull should both be uncommon, while all the other heads should be considered rare. Except for the dragon head, which, you know, you do have to actually go search the end to find that. That one should stay as epic. But I just feel like the way they've done these heads is a bit backwards. The Wither Skeleton Skull is like the easiest one to get of all these heads. Why is it rarer than all of the other normal mob heads? Just doesn't make sense to me. It seems like that part should have been switched around. There was also a huge list of items that they decided to make uncommon. You can go ahead and see that list on your screen right now, because that is way too long for me to actually bother going through. But yeah, other than those rarity changes, I gotta say the only other most notable change in this update is that the Illager banner pattern is no longer called the Illager banner pattern. If you type ill, it does not pop up. It is now referred to as the ominous banner, and this is to match the change that they ended up making on Java when 1.21 released. So now the ominous banner goes with all of the ominous bottles and the ominous keys. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys actually think about these changes, because like I was saying, some of them just don't really make much sense to me, and seems like Mojang needs to make a few more tweaks. But yeah, let me know down below what it is that you guys think. I do hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have any questions about the new update, please be sure to ask them down in the description. I am more than happy to answer any questions. Anyways, this has been Mr. Gaming Aquatic, and I'll see ya in the next one. Goodbye!